Welcome back. We're here in Nashville at the Opryland Hotel. Commodity Classic underway today. Over 5,000 expected to be here. Record crowd as corn, soybean, wheat, and sorghum growers get together. There's a huge trade show here. A lot of companies here want to be in front of all these farmers from around the country. Great time to launch new products, new systems. We have some breaking news here from Monsanto, as they are announcing here today, unveiling its new Roundup Ready Xtend crop system, which will be really available in 2014. But a lot of trials will be going on between now and then. And here to tell us about it is Matt Helms, Monsanto's U.S. dicamba system launch lead. That's quite a title. Matt, thank you very much. Exciting to have a new system to talk about here at Commodity Class.
Absolutely. We're really excited. Growers are out there trying to look for ways to maximize yield on their farms. In the last few years, whether you're in the southern part of the United States or the central or north, weeds have become a little more challenging. So our Roundup Ready Xtend crop system is bringing a next generation trait and next generation herbicide premix formulation to give farmers more options to control weeds.
It's interesting. We've talked with a lot of other companies, and they're all talking about here's what we need to do to deal with glyphosate-resistant weeds. So it's kind of interesting to hear what Monsanto has to say. Your reaction has been, here we have a new system to deal with.
Absolutely. This system, this Roundup Ready Xtend system, is really, like I mentioned, it for soybeans that we're looking to launch in 2014. We'll have some trials in 2013 with a Groundbreakers program is what we'll call it. But the name of the soybean product is Roundup Ready Xtend. And then the herbicide premix of Roundup plus dicamba, a next generation lower volatility version, will be called Roundup Xtend. So quite simply, it's kind of the next generation of Roundup and Roundup Ready. And we're excited about the benefits that it can provide to growers.
I think that's a good point to make. I mean, this is the next step in your Roundup Ready Plus program.
Absolutely. About a year and a half ago, we sat down with land-grant weed scientists across the U.S. and said, what are the best recommendations, the best active ingredients for growers to have effective and economical weed control in a Roundup Ready crop, whether that's Roundup Ready Flex cotton or Roundup Ready to yield soybeans. And we then put together these recommendations, partnered with other companies. We've partnered with Valent, FMC, Syngenta, AMVAC, Magan to pull in those active ingredient herbicides. We don't have them all ourselves. So the neat thing is we got 5 or 6 companies out here working with dealers, working with weed scientists, really talking about the same things. And Roundup Ready Xtend is going to provide that future option of weed control. We've got options today for control, but we're going to have more in the future.
That is really the good news. And as I've talked with others, everyone says the same thing. Hey, glyphosate, still a great product. We just have to manage it differently than we've done before. And the good news, when we're dealing with resistance issues, there are ways to deal with it.
Absolutely. There's options out here today. And what we're really all about with Roundup Ready Plus is having an additional mode of action on that Roundup Ready acre. And, we're really focusing on residual type products, whether that's a residual pre-plant burn down or something early post-emerge, and reducing selection pressure versus perhaps 5 or 7 years ago where we maybe had 2 applications of a Roundup or glyphosate type of product.
Well, we know weeds are resilient, and it's always trying to deal with they're changing and they're adapting, and so farmers have to as well.
Absolutely, and again, I think I mentioned up front, what farmers are after is yield, and what we as a company are after is maximizing yield. And at the end of the day, sometimes I think maybe we've lost. We've had some great tools the last 5 to 10 years, but weed control helps maximize yield. And that's what we're excited about, whether it's the solution today in Roundup Ready Plus or this Roundup Ready Xtend system for the future.
Because weeds are yield robbers.
Absolutely. There's, back when I was in college 15, 20 years ago, the data is still the same, whether it's today or from 20 years ago. Corn, cotton, soybeans, it robs nutrients, water, and other essentials that compete with that crop.
So I want to someone may just be tuning in and didn't catch exactly what we said, but I want to go through this again because it is new. It's breaking here that Monsanto's Roundup Ready Xtend crop system. This is an addition of the Roundup Ready Plus program. So we're talking about something new here, and tell us how it'll be. You'll go through the next couple of years before it's really out there for 2014.
Absolutely. So, for example, with soybeans, our plan, pending regulatory approvals, would be to launch in the 2014 crop season. We'll look at some trials with a Groundbreaker program here in 2013. And this system, from a soybean perspective, would be the Roundup Ready Xtend soybean product and trait that's built upon our existing Genuity Roundup Ready to Yield platform that we have. we'll have a premix with dicamba and Roundup, next generation lower volatility Roundup Xtend. And not to go through all the things, but bottom line is we're going to have more improved, more consistent, broader spectrum weed control with this system. We're going to have more flexibility for growers. If you apply dicamba, this year, you have to wait 14 to 28 days to plant that soybean crop. I can apply, Roundup Xtend now and go in that next day and plant the crop. A lot more flexibility for planting and application, and a lot more extension of yield opportunity going forward.
So that's an exciting new option, again, hopefully available in 2014. In the meantime, farmers saying, well, I've got to deal with these resistant weeds between now and then. Again, there are options.
There's options, and it's RoundupReadyPlus.com. We've really worked through this with land-grant university weed scientists for broad recommendations. It's not just about applying a second mode of action or residual, but it's also the how-to. It's the timing and the rate. So, a lot of growers know this. I grew up on a farm, but we've got to change here. We've got to get out there earlier. We can't allow the weeds to get to 10, 12, 15 inches. Really it's kind of that soda can, 4 or 5 inches that we're looking for to get out there. Those are some big things that we have to take going forward to both minimize the risk and to control weeds that are resistant today.
Very good. Monsanto's response to glyphosate-resistant weeds, new Roundup Ready Xtend crop system. Matt, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right, that's Matt Helms, U.S. dicamba system launch lead for Monsanto. Appreciate it, Matt. Thank you very much.